Hi, everyone. Obviously, I am not here with you today, but I wanted to provide, besides written instructions, I wanted to provide, I guess, a video where I could explain things to you a little bit more, especially since you're not used to how I do things in class, because obviously I've only been teaching you for about 2 weeks. So I just wanted to provide you a little bit more information. So again, you should have received this email, which is how you got to this video. Very first thing you're going to do during class is you are going to take STAR Math. And this STAR Math will count as your winter benchmark. We do 3 main benchmarks throughout the school year, and this information eventually will be sent home to your parents, just like we did with your fall information. So we do fall, winter, and spring. This benchmark can be used sometimes to determine your placement for math for 8th grade. And sometimes they even look back at it when they're trying to figure out freshman year of high school of what class would be most beneficial for you. So what I always tell my students every time is your score is only as good as your effort. If you're not putting your all into it, it's not going to truly show what you know in terms of math. Now, usually for advanced math, I don't have to stress that too much because you all want to do well anyways. So no stress, take your time, no calculator. So this is what you know without the use of anything electronic or anything with a calculator. You should have paper and pencil on your desk and you should be using it. If I were to take the 7th grade STAR Math, I would be using paper pencil. I can't do all of that mentally, so you just want to use that to be sure. As you're going through and working on these problems, you most likely are going to get to problems you have never ever seen before, which can be frustrating. It can maybe worry you a little bit, but honestly, take it as a compliment. Because remember, when you're doing STAR Math, if you get questions correct, it brings it to a higher level. As you start to get them incorrect, then that's when it starts to lower the level of your questions. And that way it can give me a good idea of where exactly you're at. So again, if you see things that look really complicated, which I'm sure you will, and you've never seen before, that's actually a good thing. So take your time on STAR Math. When you are finished with STAR Math, you then are going to look at your homework from last Thursday. Okay, so that was homework 3-4. On here, I have a link. If you click that link, it's going to take you to the answer key for homework 3-4. Now, because we have a test on Thursday, I'm not actually going to collect this from you. I want you to get feedback, so I do have problems worked out on here. Hopefully it will load. It loaded very easily earlier. So check your answers and then just use this to double check your work and make sure that you're understanding. There we go. And if you do have any questions about this, you can ask me on Wednesday during study hall, or we could even take about the first 10 minutes of class on Thursday before the test to work out anything that we need to. Not a whole lot of time though, because I want you to focus on your test. Okay, so you'll check your homework. From there, once you're done with that, you can review what the details of the test are, or I can walk you through them right now. Again, I'm doing this because you haven't taken a test from me before. So I debated whether to call this a quiz or a test. This does not have everything on it that it normally would if we had done the entire chapter together. Okay, so let's talk about this. So you will have just 14 questions on this test, and you get graded, or you receive 3 different grades from it. So what I do is based on each skill on an assessment, I give you a grade regarding that skill. So here's what you need to know. Very first part, be able to solve algebraic equations. Those would be like problems from lesson 3-1, and that's what we spent some time reviewing the first week that you were in class with me. So be able to solve algebraic equations, and then lesson 3-2, we also talked about different types of equations, consistent, inconsistent, and infinite. So you're going to have 2 questions on that. So 4 on equations from lesson 3-1, 2 problems that would be from lesson 3-2. Those together, so this top part and then the next one, that's going to count as 1 grade. From there, Then we had in lessons 3.3 and 3.4, that's where we started solving with two variables. Remember, a lot of the times we had to isolate. So from lesson 3.4, you have to isolate x in terms of y, or isolate y in terms of x first, then substitute in the value. So you will have 4 questions on those types of problems, and that will count as another grade. And then lastly, you're going to have some word problems, and these word problems will be similar to what you saw in lessons 3.3 and 3.4. Okay, 4 questions there, so a total of 3 grades. Go back to my previous screen. So those are the details for the test. Now, Mrs. Rickner, I believe, is the one who is there for me for this afternoon. She, at some point, will pass out the Chapter 3 review. Notice at the top of it, it does say optional. Okay, so what I have here is do all of them, do some of them, or somewhere in between. This is practice for you to make sure you're ready for the test. These are the types of problems that you will see on the test on Thursday. So if you know how to do these, you're in really good shape for the test. Now, I believe there are 8 questions on equations just from lesson 3.1. Maybe you only need to do 4 of them. Maybe you do the evens or the odds, or maybe you do all of them. So it will depend from person to person. But I just wanted to give you some problems that you could use to practice. Okay, I do have, or I put on here, I do expect you to be working on this during class. So you're going to do STAR first. STAR is probably going to take you a little while. Then check your homework. Any time remaining in class, you should be working on the review. Once you are out of class, it's up to you how much more time you put into this. Again, you do what you need to do to be prepared for the test. 2 things. I do have 2 typos on the review. Problem number 2 should read like what I have typed here. I forgot my Y in there, so put that Y in there and then solve it. And then problem number 21, I think I have a 7 in place of that Y at the very end. Okay, so just cross out the problem I had, rewrite this the way it should. The answers to this review. So again, this is for you to practice and be ready for that test. So I'll give you the answer key too, so that you can double check that you're on the right track. If you go to your Canvas page, this is what I showed you last week. Go to your Canvas page for math, scroll all the way down. You have those 12 colored boxes at the very bottom. Find the 8th grade Chapter 3 resource box, and the answer key, I will put that in there. Very last thing, and then you can get started on your work. Very last thing is Wednesday is a B day, so we have study hall at the end of the day. If you are interested in coming into my room for about the first 30 minutes or so of study hall, if you're available, you can't miss music, but if you're available and you're interested in coming in and reviewing, let me know. What I need to know is I need to figure out if there are people interested or not. If not, that's fine. Just make sure you're ready for the test. But if you are, then I need to try to find coverage for my study hall so that we are not disturbing them and we have the classroom just to talk for advanced math. So again, if you are interested in coming in and reviewing for about the first 30 minutes or so of study hall on Wednesday to prepare for the test, send me a quick email. And I said just something like, I would like to attend the review. That way I know what you're talking about, and then I can let you guys know what's going on that day. Okay, hopefully that explains everything. Good luck, and I will see you Wednesday and Thursday.